Slep King here, and we got Kalila here, and we have some new merch that we'd like to talk to you about. We have these Tigerbelly playing cards, and if you open them up, right, the king is me. Where's yours, babe?
I'm the queen. Oh my god. You don't know how to shuffle, huh, babe?
Babe.
So make sure you head to slepkingdom.com to cop your limited edition Tigerbelly playing cards. And if you missed out on our Me Walking Down the Street long sleeve or Slep Kingdom hoodie, they're restocked. So once again, head to slepkingdom.com. It creates the foam.
So keep it on?
Yeah. It creates a foam. You don't know? You wanted fancy coffee, and you don't even know that?
Hey, chill the fuck out, man.
No, but you came in here like...
I didn't come in here like anything.
Oh, you came here with your fucking sports car, vroom, 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 with your Latino music, saying how fast it goes, and then you look at me and you go, what's your beverage situation? Which I've never been asked before. And then I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I need fancy, not just water, fancy water. So if we had like Fiji, he would have just probably not drank it. And then he's like, he wants fancy coffee. So I go, here's my options. One of these days today. I woke up in a really fucked up mood. I don't know what it was.
When you say woke up, because it's... Are
Yeah.
we rolling yet?
Yes.
Yeah, we're rolling. Put your earphones on.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. If you can do whatever you want.
I'll do this for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's when you say I woke up, just give me the fucking general overview of when you woke up.
I woke up at 2:40.
Jesus Christ.
That's pretty early.
That's early for me.
Mm-hmm. Considering the hour sprung forward, right? So
Right.
technically it's 1:40.
All right, can I defend myself a little bit?
And you? What time did you wake up?
Noon.
10-ish? No, that's not true.
I woke up at noon, babe.
Yeah.
You were laying next to me.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
She's up.
No, I looked over and you were doing your sleepy
That's
sleeps.
not
Yeah.
That is
Don't
not
lie.
true. That's not
You're a
true.
deceiver.
I'm not a deceiver.
Because we have a fancy guest, you deceive?
Fancy.
I wake up regular people time.
Yeah.
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 Wait, and then I know it's been, I mean, because you guys have been together years now.
Mm-hmm.
But like, do you just fully accept?
There's no other way.
That's so you do. You accept, like,
I've resigned.
You resigned to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Even with my behaviors and my lackadaisical way about me, still,
Tom, I do think
Jimmy still can build a kingdom. Crazy,
I do think
crazy.
You think what?
I think it's biological because there isn't, besides maybe your dad, your mom and your brother are
Lackadaisical.
they're night dwellers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was.
Can I defend myself real quick? I love what you're doing right now, and that
What I'm doing right now?
what you're doing right now is you're being a professional podcaster. And you're switching it.
Okay.
Yeah, like as if this is yours.
Oh,
Yeah, which is fine, right? I'll allow it, right? But it's very professional and it's very diabolical.
it's
all right?
it's advanced.
It's advanced podcasting.
Yeah.
It's advanced podcasting.
Someone's a veteran. Go ahead.
I get it. But also for me, I can also identify it.
Okay, I know.
Right? So I identify what you're doing because I too am a veteran.
You're like, I've seen this training.
Yeah.
I got you.
So, but I'm going to allow it to happen. So I will because I like you so much.
Thanks.
So can I defend myself? So
Yes.
Monday morning, I had to do a job I had to wake up at 6 a.m. All right, and I had to do a real stressful job for about 4 hours. Right.
OnlyFans?
No, it wasn't OnlyFans. I was. Have you heard of the game Crash Bandicoot?
Oh, of course.
Right. So they're launching a mobile, version of the game.
And
I launched it with King, the developers that did Candy Crush.
yeah,
Right?
they're doing all right.
They're killing it.
Yeah.
You've heard of Candy Crush, right?
I've heard of Candy Crush.
So I had to all weekend long rehearse. Last week we rehearsals. It's a whole very technical thing. It was stressing me out. Be honest, right? It's stressing me the fuck out.
I was stressed out. I was making him keep
Look!
cards all week.
Look! These right here.
What did you have to do for
These
the
right here are cue cards.
Wait, are these lines you had to read?
It's when I had to say certain things because everything's like on Zoom and like
Okay.
Right,
To help
so-
launch the game, though?
Yes. So anyway, my point. I don't want to get into that, but
I'm going to send you a video of what Bobby looks like when he wakes up, and we can watch it later. Okay.
Okay. So, well, why would you tape me when I'm waking up? That horrifying.
No. You were walking out of the room. Tom's asking how generally it goes down, and I think this video is.
If I wake up and you're videotaping me, I don't think.
I have a collection. What do you?
Don't do it. Stop.
S'mores, everything.
But hey,
he sucks dick in his sleep. He goes.
All right.
When he's sleeping.
It's pussy.
By the way,
it's pussy.
you pulled it out on the driveway.
You did again.
That was his car.
I never did.
Okay.
Oh, it's so funny. What
I
you're
feel
doing.
like
Is that advanced podcasting?
Who do I work for?
They try to cancel somebody on their own podcast. That's very advanced. Oh, wow.
There's a few podcasts that have been.
Yeah. Did I pull it out? No, I was. I'll say this. While he was pulling up, I was scratching my junk
Okay.
That makes sense. That actually
on my own property.
That translates.
On my own property.
It does. And by the way, the only reason I brought up it wasn't like a diabolical thing. It was just I was just kind of thinking about the 4 p.m. call time and how unique it is in the podcasting world. And that's why I brought it up.
What do you mean? So what time do you start your podcasts?
Well, we record. We start both at 10 a.m. Usually the big ones, and then sometimes 11. Sometimes I have a guest arrive at noon. I remember when we had you guys, and I spoke to one of you that was like, "I don't know about getting Bobby at 1." I was like, "What are you talking about?" they're like, "I don't know, man. 1? Can you do 3?" And I was like, "What?"
Did we do it though? What time did we do it?
You did. You did show up.
did.
I mean, you looked like you were fucking on heroin, but yeah.
I mean, but I want to defend myself again. Do I show up to things like don't point. Let me just finish. All right. Number one, I'm just trying to justify my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do I show up to things? I do. There's never a no show.
There you go.
Honestly, if there's if I'm shooting a show, right? Like when I'm doing the Magnum in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they go, all right, 5:30 in the morning call time.
And you're there.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I haven't slept.
This is like Kreischer with the drinking. People are like, man, you drink and the drinking. And then it's like, if you need him there at 6 a.m., he's fucking there.
Yeah.
He's right there. He's early.
Right. So now if my lifestyle interferes with my duties,
Yes, that
right,
is a
then I'll address it.
Yeah.
Then I'll address it. Okay. So let's start with the podcast in the right way. All right. Do the countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome. I'm in a bad mood.
You are?
Oh, I don't say anything yet, Tom. I'm in a bad mood. I woke up, bro.
Advanced techniques.
I know. I woke up, right? And when I opened my eyes, it was just like I was inundated with like a lot of texts, and you have to do this, you have to do that, and then like, why isn't this happening, this and that, right? And I just didn't sleep that well, because I saw the fourth Woody Allen thing rub me the wrong way. I think he did it.
Oh, wow.
I think he did it. You know what I mean? And that little fucking the little the Moses.
his Korean son,
His
Moses.
Korean son. What a betrayer.
The two
Why
Koreans.
are Koreans betraying people all the time in things?
The two Koreans in the family.
Yeah, the two Koreans are betrayers. So I saw that last night. I don't think I should have seen it because I was a huge Woody Allen fan, and we talked about it before on the show. But and now I can no longer be one. It's just I'm at it. I'm over it. And so, anyways, I saw that, woke up, and all that, and then you and I got in a religious fight. You know what I mean? We talked about Catholicism. We got in a fight because even though I don't have any facts backing up my data.
What was your main argument for that?
Wait, we're gonna wait. Till Tom.
Wait.
We're gonna wait for Tom.
So anyway, let's
to
introduce
chime in.
our guest. I've said this before. I've never had a stranger be so generous before, and I feel like because he was so generous the first time I ever met him, and because he was just so wholesome and just a good guy, that he can get away with talking to me in a certain way now, and treating me in a certain way now, and looking down on me in a certain way now, and I'm like, and I regret our first meeting because now he has this power over me, but I still, you know what? I acknowledge his skills as a podcaster. He does numbers for us. You know what I mean? He does great numbers for us. I love his wife, and I've briefly met his children. I did a wave, and I think I did one of these. to one of the kids, you know, and they kind of looked at me like, "Oh my God, it's a Chinese guy," or whatever they're thinking. You know what I mean? But so let's introduce him, Tom Segura, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, you may talk.
Thank you. It's good to be back in the not back, but into the new spot. This is fucking impressive, man. This is impressive. You guys really did it.
Yeah, we've been here for over a year. You haven't been here. It's weird.
It's a whole invitation kind of thing that has to happen.
I get it. I
got it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's impressive. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is your second time? I thought
I've done it before at the old place and twice.
Twice. He didn't do it in the old studio, the old new studio.
Yeah.
We have 3. This is our 3rd studio.
Okay. There you go.
Wait, he did it in the little room?
He missed it.
Oh, he didn't show up.
Or no, like he didn't get a chance to do it because of COVID. Like it was only.
We
4
moved
months.
here
My
before
bad.
he could.
My bad. All right.
Yeah.
But this spot is nice, man. This is
Thank you.
You guys are killing it.
We were going to live towards you. We were looking at houses towards you.
Oh, really?
But we just settled on this. It's just closer to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the clubs and whatnot.
It's great. It's
Yeah,
great. The
thank
clubs that won't open for many years. That's great.
Well, have you done stand-up yet?
Yeah, I've been going on the road.
Oh, what's that been like?
Amazing. It's awesome. I did Palm Beach a couple weeks ago. I'm doing Phoenix this weekend, Omaha next weekend.
Were you doing Phoenix Live this weekend?
Yeah.
Is it full capacity?
No.
Oh,
Half cap.
half cap.
Yeah, and they have like, a bunch of COVID regulations. Like,
Yeah. But what I'm saying about that, though, is I haven't said anything about it yet, but what I'm about to say about that, sorry, is that, for me to do the road, my incentive, although I love performing and I love seeing my fans, is to make as much money as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And with half the room,
yeah.
where's the incentive there?
I mean, to me, I'm not doing it for money. Like, so.
Oh, all right. My bad.
No, I'm saying like, I'm doing it because I know I have a tour that's supposed to start in September. So I just want to get a bunch of reps because if that tour happens, it'll be a full capacity, big venues. So I just want to make sure I'm not like rusty going into that.
That's.
you know,
Do you think I should be doing that?
Yeah.
the money's still. By the way, it's still like it's not full cap money, but it's like you're still getting a pretty good
decent.
check. Yeah,
Yeah. Are you doing new jokes on those dates?
yeah. Because it's a new tour, so I'm just working out new material.
Let me ask you this: in a half capacity room, and you're doing new jokes, do you bomb sometimes or no?
There's stuff that like the joke doesn't work. Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't like fully bomb, but I mean, it's like you go, all right, these need work, and then you realize what's getting tighter and better, and then new stuff has come up. Like stuff that I wasn't even planning on doing. So it's definitely worth it, man. I would do it if I were you.
Oh, maybe I should.
And by the way, I mean, Phoenix, come on, man. It's an hour flight. It's so easy.
Yeah, my mom lives there.
Oh, Jesus.
Let me think
Christ.
about it. Yeah, maybe is Tempe open?
They are open because yes, they are open.
I'll do half room Tempe maybe.
There you go.
Yeah, and call it New Joke Weekend.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
that.
Mine says it on the ticket, working out new material.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you bringing strong openers?
Yeah.
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 What I would do is I would just tell my openers, if I hear anything I've heard before, you're fired.
Dude, they're so pumped. The audiences are so jacked. To be out. People haven't gone out in so long. They're really fired up.
Oh my God, I think I'm missing out then.
They're excited.
Because my whole thing was like, I'm going to wait until the country completely opens back up. But now it's like I have a date in September that I had to move because I'm like, if we open up in August or whatever, like fully open, and I go in to do an hour in September with nothing in front of a full room.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the panic.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
Oh, the panic. Can you? Oh.
Just fucking call your agent right now.
No, I'll do it later. Think about it. Don't fucking pressure me into something.
Come on.
Yeah. So are you religious?
No, but I was raised by two pretty devout Catholics.
Oh, thank God.
Okay,
We can
all
have
right.
this
Now we can have this
discussion then.
discussion.
Yeah.
Okay. So my discussion.
I was raised Catholic.
Yeah, I mean, I have a South American mother, so that's kind of like to the 10th power Catholic, Like we get in the car, if it's a drive that's longer than 10 minutes, we're praying the rosary in the car,
Right.
Oh,
Every time you
wow.
pass a church, you do a sign of a cross.
Cemetery.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's. Go ahead. What was the big fight about earlier?
If you say a single disparaging fucking word. Go ahead.
No, it's just because I'm not a Catholic, because
Yeah.
I wasn't raised Christians, right? I had just certain ideas about, religions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so for me, I always thought that there was a complete and utter gap or difference between, modern day born again Christianity and Catholicism.
There is.
There is, but that wasn't what you said earlier. He said that Catholicism wasn't a branch of Christianity, and I was like, no, it absolutely is.
It's the foundation of Christianity.
Everybody starts
Everybody
to split with
splits off,
Protestantism,
I understand
with Martin
that.
Luther.
Of course, I understand it. I understand the fact that they.
But he was
believe it.
screaming about it.
I
He
wasn't
like,
screaming about it, and I just please don't rewrite history.
Like the Catholics do.
All right, like the Catholics do. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm just saying is because I always found that born again Christians, right? Just because I've met them. Obviously, can we admit that?
Just born again.
I've lived with them before.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Whereas, one time I was living with this redheaded guy, which gave me a weird. But anyway, I don't know if I told you this, but I left a Hustler magazine just out in the living room, and he is a born again Christian, and I came home one day, and he was crying. He was crying, and he had the Hustler in his hand, and he was crying, and he goes, "How dare you?" And I go, "What, bro? You can look at it, right?" And he goes, "No, I masturbated to this and I sinned. And if I would have done it if this was not in the living room." Yeah, this is the same fucker that used to fucking take my Sunny Delight. And he bought Sunny Delight and he would put a measuring line so that I wouldn't drink it.
Santino?
No, it was Santino. It was
Sounds
sounds like a Santino.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what I would do is I would fill it with water every time I drank it. Right. So eventually it was just water. Right. So
You were giving him half the sugar.
right. So he like moved out because I left a Hustler magazine out.
That prompted him to move out?
Yeah. Right. So he was a born again, he was like devout. Like he did, the harvest.
Was he
crusades
did he overdose? Was he like an addict or usually these people get into that. They're like, I got arrested.
I don't know.
No?
No. But then I lived with a Catholic guy. Right, and we would watch porn together. You know what I mean? Like side by side laptops. You know what I mean? We just jerk off together. He didn't care.
There's usually like a real like generational difference between like our parents' Catholicism and like they're us, like the children of them. You know what I mean? Like for the most part, that's a whole different climate, culture, environment, everything. I mean, that was normal. I'm talking people who are now in their 70s and stuff. They would get married virgins. Like follow, like by the book, but it's a different type of like wholesome environment. Like the real foundation of family, and the church was like the place where they went for everything. So that's where they got their advice. That's where they got their friends. That was their universe. And I think as time went on, their children, meaning us, it's just the world developed differently, and we were brought up in a world where you question things, right? Like they didn't question what the priest was in charge. He's like the patriarch of entire communities. And like now, we're raised in a world where you're like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And it's encouraged to question things and be like, that sounds like bullshit. And it's just such a different thing to compare.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that generationally Catholics, right, the younger generation, where they're changing or where they have different kind of outlooks and views and whatnot.
Sure.
I get that, right? But I don't see like devout born again Christians. Their generation's changing. They're a lot more devout.
I see that. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
There's no open room for growth or a different outlook.
But that's still a lot of Catholicism in the Philippines, like to the point where, it's still like homosexuality is still not a thing. Women's like reproductive rights are still not a thing. Like it's still very old school back there.
It's a very fear-based
Yeah, totally.
thing. But it works too more in underdeveloped, less educated places. Like when you think about, like my mom's from Peru, definitely like underdeveloped in many ways. And like when you're from like that type of place and they go, God is watching and be in fear of what he may do, that is effective to keep people in line, keep people hopeful, keep them thinking that like, the poor will inherit the earth and follow these rules. All that shit, it doesn't play in.
Can I make another point real quick? Because it just came into my mind, right? So in Catholicism in the Philippines, for instance, right, do Catholics kill gays there? Or do they think that gays should deserve to be dead?
Yes, some.
So do they hunt them down?
It's like a mortal sin.
They hunt them down.
Well, no, like they're not safe. Oftentimes,
Right.
I mean,
because because born again Christians went into Nigeria and some of these African countries,
Yeah.
and taught that and they make laws.
That's different.
They make laws
Like, if you
saying
talk-
that if you're gay, that we're gonna kill you.
if you look at when my mom tells stories about how she had gay friends growing up,
Yeah.
they were always beat up.
First of all, you know what I mean. It turns out I did a test on bad friends, and in this I filled out a little questionnaire. It turns out I'm 44. How was it? 41%. I'm 41% bisexual.
Oh wow.
Do you think that if you have sex with a guy that you're gay just for doing that?
No.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're gonna take a really quick break to share some of our favorite sponsors with you.
Calm. You guys, I use Calm to go to sleep every night. I love their field recordings and their soundscapes. Basically, what it is, it's an app, right?
It's an app designed to help you ease stress and get the best sleep of your life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they have raindrop noises and the ocean, but it's the best ones I've ever found in terms of apps.
It's part of my daily routine.
Yeah.
I take a shower at night. I put on my little sleepy hat and my pajamas. I tuck myself into bed, and I go into Calm, and I listen to their 10-minute guided meditations to help me sleep. And it has improved my life.
And they have over 100 sleep stories, and they're narrated by the people that have the most soothing voices known in Hollywood.
Okay.
Like Stephen Fry. Kelly Rowland, Laura Dern has the sleepiest, nicest voice. And you know what my favorite one was? They had one with Geordie LaForge.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean, from Star Trek. Whenever I'm watching Star Trek, sometimes I sleep because he has the most soothing voice.
Over 85 million people around the world use Calm to take care of their minds and get better sleep. And if you go to calm.com/belly, you'll get a limited time offer of 40% off a Calm premium subscription, which includes hundreds of hours of programming.
For listeners of the show, Calm is offering a special limited time promotion of 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/belly. That's 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library, and new content is added every week. Get started today at calm.com/belly. That's calm.com/belly.
Roman!
Yeah.
Squeaky doors, clogged sinks, finicky engines. When things break down around the house, you take care of it, correct?
Yeah.
However, when something's off in the bedroom, you just try not to think about it. That's the wrong way. Come on, man. What are you waiting for? Take care of it. Go to getroman.com/belly now.
With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, which happens to the best of you guys, all from the comfort and privacy of your home.
A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward and discreet.
Getting started is simple. Just go to getroman.com/belly and complete an online visit. Take care of your ED without leaving your home. Complete an online visit today to connect with a healthcare professional and take care of it.
Go to getroman.com/belly now. You'll get $15 off your first month. It's really time to take care of your ED. And remember, get started today and you'll save $15 on your first order of ED treatment. Once again, that's getroman.com/belly. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Do you think?
you?
No, you're not.
No, but do you
checked.
think?
Huh?
Have you ever had sex with a guy?
No.
You've never sucked a guy off? Never fondled a guy?
Have
Nope.
you ever been a bottom?
Never. No.
Never desire?
No.
Curiosity?
How about this?
No, but we talked to a doctor. We talked to this doctor who he was like, that's his specialty is like men's fluid sexuality. And he was like, yeah, no, like he said his primary practice is seeing basically straight guys who have engaged in gay, activity. And they're like, oh, am I gay? And he's like, no, like he has a whole, obviously like series of criteria and questions to like, but you have, right?
Yeah, but in every time I've done it is through drunkenness.
Yeah.
I have to be really drunk to do it.
and desperation.
And I was a kid.
Drunk gay.
I never did it before, under the age.
Have you done it since you guys been together?
No.
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, no. The last gay experience I had was probably 16.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you ever
and-
think about it?
No, I never think about.
Do you ever think about it?
I don't think about dick.
Do you think about it while you're making love?
No, I don't think about making love to her. Tom Hardy. I don't think that.
Tom Segura.
Tom Segura, yeah, sometimes. Yeah. But I never think of like another guy I ever. No, guys.
Now, when you're at the beach,
Oh my God, I'm not.
when you're at the beach, and there's good-looking people walking around, do you check out guys?
He does.
No.
1000%.
No. Oh my God, you guys are so crazy.
You do.
I don't check out guys. What I do is this.
That's all you do. Babe, look at him, babe. He's so cute. Look at his baby.
I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do
That's
that.
all
I don't
you
do
do.
that. That's ridiculous. Can I say this? No. First of all, would it be weird if I was at the beach and I looked at hot chicks and look at that ass to you?
I would either way.
You know, I'm just saying. I just find that to be
Yeah, guys who do that too much, I feel are gay.
disrespectful.
Oh, like over the top? One time I met a guy who's famous, and I can't tell you who, but I'll tell you off.
Can I guess?
No.
Okay. Wait.
I'm really good at this game.
Can we guess that? Is he a movie star?
He's not a movie star, but don't keep asking.
No. Is he a comedian?
Shut up.
No. Just,
No.
Stop. What we're asking, right? We're not gonna. After you answer this one question, this it's not a floodgate situation. We're gonna ask one thing. I just need to know what he does for a living, and that's all. I don't want to know anything else. So, is he a comedian?
He's in the entertainment business.
Is he a comedian?
He's on camera. Okay?
Podcaster.
No.
That's what he says.
So
So somebody we
I'm
know.
meeting this guy.
Someone we know.
I'm
Go
meeting
ahead.
this dude who's a well-known person. And before I meet him, like he's down the hall, right? And I'm talking to somebody. He's like, oh, you know, so-and-so's here. And I go, cool. And he goes, he's pretends that he's not gay. And makes a joke about it. And I was like, okay, like I don't care, but he's like, it's pretty funny.
I know
And he
it.
just says that. And I go,
I know
and
it
I go, okay. I meet the guy, and as I meet him, I'm like, hey, what's up? And he goes, oh, what'd you do last night? And I was like, oh, you know, got in here, we had dinner. And he goes, oh, yeah, I was with this girl last night. And I go, oh, cool. Like, first of all, I just met him. You know, it's not like your buddy and you're like, you hook up last. I just met him. He's like, yeah, I was with this girl last night. And I was like, oh, cool. He was like, God. I mean, I ate her pussy. And he goes, I could eat that shit all night. You know what I mean? I was like, who the fuck
Yeah, red
talks
flag,
like that?
red flag.
Like,
I get
nobody goes, I can eat that shit all night.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. It was a good. He's like, yeah, man, I just love it. You know, I just love doing that. And I was like, mm-hmm. And so we talked for a moment, and then I stopped talking to him, and I talked to my friend. I was like, that dude is definitely gay.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was
That's
hilarious.
That
I mean-
overt kind of like
Yeah, yeah,
always
yeah.
wanting to talk about chicks all the
Yes.
time.
But
It's
I
just
used
so
to do
awkward.
that.
especially, really?
Yeah, because when I was
How old were you though?
young.
Like,
But no,
that makes
I know,
sense
but
then.
when I was 23, was the first time I made love to a woman, right? Like ate her pussy that wasn't a prostitute.
Okay.
Okay, so this is when I did stand. What?
Go ahead.
Is that funny to you? Because you know what? It's so funny that you make that face because, you know, I see photos of you. Sometimes you'll post it, or Christine, your wife, will post it.
Christine, yeah.
Christina, and I'll see a young Tom Segura photo, and you know, oddly enough, you're a very handsome guy.
Okay.
You're a football player, right? And God bless you that you were born with those genetics. All right. But let me say something to you right now. Some of us weren't born with those gifts. All right.
Okay.
I got fucked genetically. All right. My parents both look like mythological creatures. All right. And I was gonna be born like this. My brother's fucked as well. All right.
No, your brother's really cute. Very small but cute.
Okay.
Big lips, big butt.
Babe, just back me up for once. Okay. He is cute.
He is
So
very
anyway, I never had sex with anybody until I was 23. So then one night I was at a club. I was doing stand up, right? And a girl just goes, "Yeah, I'll fuck you." You know, basically. And
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So then after that, I would be at work and I would like brag about it.
Yeah, but
Oh man, I had so much pussy last night.
that
I ate her butthole, man. It was
Yeah.
crazy. And like people were like, this is before like, you know, what did they what did they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the context you gave it makes it add up. You know what I mean? There's a difference between the story I was telling and the fact that you were basically a late bloomer. And
Yeah.
you were so excited that you finally got to have this experience you're talking about all the time. That doesn't register the same way this guy. This guy's a grown ass man.
You know what happens
I
to
see.
guys like that? The most abusive relationship I've ever been in was with a closeted gay guy.
Really?
Oh my God. Not only did he beat me, like he punched me in the face, but he cheated on me so many times. And he was like a fucking just a monster. But soon after that, people would tell me, like dudes would be like, "Oh, like that I've been
Can
with
I
a
ask you a
dude."
question about that?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't mean, I'm not trying to like perv out on you,
Mm-hmm.
but when you're dating a guy who's gay, right, closeted gay, is it can he get aroused by being with a woman?
Yeah.
just
So
normally?
what I found a little sus was that it always had to be face down.
Okay.
And he did this thing where
He
it
would
was like,
he would be like, get like, in other words, put you in that, like you.
yes,
yeah.
he would. It was always his preferred. And on top of that, like it was never like even flat prison style. Like he would, if I was flat on my face, like my body was flat, he would straddle me like a horse.
Oh.
Like he would like fuck like this, like as if I was just. It was weird.
And
but
that was the routine.
that was just the routine.
Wow.
He would do it face to face eventually, right? Sometimes.
Only for like what he had to do.
Imagine with
which
his
is,
face when he did face to face. He'd be like,
like, I found it.
face down's fine, but face
I
to
don't
face.
want to look at your busted ass face.
I found it interesting that at 22 I was really a buff athlete. I have androgynous features. I do have kind of like a boyish kind of
What?
physique. So I think he was really into that.
I'm definitely confused at this part, but yeah, okay.
She has a swimmer's body.
Yeah, I had a swimmer's body, big back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
At 22 especially, I was just
Jacked.
jacked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were
Not saying that when I'm making love to her, I'm not like going, oh, it's Michael Phelps. I'm not doing
Hey.
By the way, I'm not doing that.
All right, let's be clear.
FYI.
Let's be clear.
Let's be clear.
You kind
He's
of
a
are.
woman.
You kind of are.
Yeah,
You're kind of like, this is the back of a warrior.
But I do hang
wild.
on her shoulders like, those barrel monkeys.
Yeah. Could she pick you up, throw you
Oh
around?
my
Yeah,
God.
I could pick him up.
She can stand up, brush her teeth. I'm still there. You know what I mean?
I hold him on my hip like a baby. And I do
Yeah.
chores around
Like
the
koala.
house.
Like a koala, yeah.
How much do you weigh, Bobby?
Oh, now, man, 175.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm getting dia.
You getting dia?
I'm getting the dia. Yeah,
The beatus?
I could feel it. I got to change.
Yeah.
Not today. Not today.
Another day.
But it's eventually. I could feel it coming. It's like when I would be on a drug binge, and I just knew that inevitably I could see the future, right, and go, this is the line, and I'm getting there, and so I'm getting there with food.
What is your big indulgence?
Oh my God.
Takeout.
It's
But,
because
like, is
the
there-
pandemic
is
fucked
there-
me up.
Is there a lane of it? You know what I mean? Like, is it
Lately, it's been just barbecue,
barbecue?
Barbecue, hot dogs,
hot dogs, big one.
hot dogs.
You're probably like me. I can't do it winging it. I need structure.
That I told her I told her I go, get me a nutritionist.
Oh no, that's not what you said. I said, "Can I get you a nutritionist?"
What's the difference? What's the difference if fucking you said and I said yes?
Because you've got to want to do it, right?
Yeah, I want to do it. I
So
said,
me
get me a
getting you-
fucking nutritionist. What's the difference? I said yes to it.
No, I don't think you're ready. He's not ready. He's not ready. The day he asks me to call the nutritionist is when I'll believe him.
Okay.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay, I'll say this right
I
now.
can't
then.
keep offering you solutions.
I'll
You
say-
got to offer me solutions.
I'm going to give you a solution right
Okay.
now, okay?
Yeah. And don't get abusive. Go ahead.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this out loud, and this is on fact because podcasts it's a fact. And I'm saying it out loud to the people.
Okay.
All right? Next Monday, call me a nutritionist.
Okay, Monday. Got it. Copy. I'll do it.
I need a week. I'm going to go crazy this week, though.
That's cool. Go on your bender.
I'm going to go hog wild this
He's
week.
been on a 2-year bend.
No, I'm going to go extra. You know what I mean?
Okay, well then you'll die
gonna
before
go-
Monday.
Yeah, I may. But if I can make it to Monday,
Okay.
right?
Who do you replace Bobby with, like, for out of the gate? Like, let's say Sunday night. You're like,
He
I
crows.
wanna-
you reach
I wanna go here.
you reach over and you're like, hey, tomorrow the nutrition, and he's just like, so like what do you? How do you?
Oh God.
And I want to also say this.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, I'm not going to be offended. If I'm dead,
If
babe,
I'm going for numbers or do I want company? Like that's a
Oh,
thing.
that's such a good. Okay, let's play both.
Okay.
Let's play both. So, who's your numbers co-host? It's
My
got to be
numbers it's I love Bert.
yeah.
Bert's easy. We have the same
Great
hobbies.
dynamic, great chemistry together. Yep.
Yes, so Bert.
You have same hobbies?
Hobbies, like we love the water a lot. Also, he talks so much, so I'd have to talk so little, and I love that.
I do a podcast with him. I know.
And so
It's an easy ride where you're just like, hey, so all right, I'll just sit here for a while. So there's your numbers guy.
that's my numbers guy, and also my in terms of
Company.
a company,
Yeah.
oh God, probably one of these two fuckers.
Really?
Yeah,
About sexual.
sexual.
Oh, Rick Glass.
Oh, we're talking about sexual or podcasting.
I mean, we could add sex. Sure. Okay.
No, what I want to know
Yeah.
is who would you podcast with?
Well, that's what we did. We did.
We already did that. So then who's going to replace?
These are companions. But yeah, now.
replace me sexually
Okay,
as
so-
a lover.
Does it
okay.
have to be? I would run. I'm running away from this community and industry as a whole.
Okay, good.
I
Smart
wouldn't
girl.
fuck with a comedian.
So make up a
ever
guy,
again.
what he has.
But if I had to choose a comedian, if I had to,
Yeah.
a gun wouldn't necessarily even need to be in my head, but it would absolutely be Jamar Neighbors.
Okay.
Interesting.
I love him. I find him so attractive.
Jamar Neighbors.
You and him are
That would be my guy.
different.
Yeah.
No, I see a lot of similarities.
Let's go through them.
Why? No, because I'll be honest with you, Jamar Neighbors is a shock to me.
Is it?
It's just he's muscular.
So muscular.
Like he's way more muscular than I am.
And he doesn't have to try. It's just there.
Ah, yeah, that's great
He's
to
just
know.
fucking jacked.
He's jacked.
Yeah.
He's also much younger.
But
He's
he's
also
weird like you.
yeah, he is weird like it, but he's
Yeah.
But his body, yeah, you know what?
He's a
it's
weird-
funny. It's when me and Jamar Neighbors get in a room, we don't know what to say to each other.
Yeah.
We're just kind of like, because I feel like we see each other's, you know what I mean?
Like a mirror.
Oh,
I like it's a mirror, and also we also know our defense
Does
mechanism.
Jamar even know? Does he know this at all? No.
No, he doesn't.
He is so gonna J his D so hard to this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jamar Neighbors. Ask me
Jamar
now.
Neighbors.
Okay.
Who you,
All
who
right.
you?
So, later today, Kalila's walking down the stairs. Boop, 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 boop. She falls down. Oh, my neck's broken. And then you throw her in the pool. And then you need you need a podcast host, co-host, a companion, and a lover.
Okay, podcast host. It has to be a woman, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so a podcast host.
Co-host. You got to be regularly working with her. It's got to be a week, like someone you can do weekly show with.
I would probably do it with Sarah,
I would be my choice.
Sarah.
His ex.
my ex Sarah.
She's
Okay.
lovely. Also very
She's
fun.
crazy, and I also know her weirdness.
Okay.
Nice, and she's an easy.
Yeah,
I would. My
She could
dead
roll
self
with you.
would.
she's
would
married.
co-sign.
She, Sarah was a lesbian before I met her. She dated me, and then she married a woman.
Okay.
So I I was like her experimental. She's like, nah,
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, this is disgusting.
What if like she just finds out she's definitely straight, but you just set her off on something?
That could be. Yeah.
All right, so Sarah's your co-host.
Yeah.
Now you need a companion
Someone to hang out with.
to hang out with.
Whitney.
Whitney's a good hang for you.
Yeah, because I like Whitney because I can't say this out loud, but I know her game.
I know what you mean.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
I know her game, and so I know where she's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I also know some of the sabotage and her diabolical ways.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And her shadow play.
Look, you don't get to where Whitney got without being
Right, so-
calculated, savvy, sophisticated. I know what you're saying. And then who's your lover now?
No comedian.
Thank God.
But if it had gun to your head, I had to. I chose Jamar.
That's a fair point.
So hard, babe.
You have to.
Oh God.
I'll choose one.
Probably
for
an
you.
open micer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would need an open mic.
And also someone who's kind of impressed, like you can be
Yeah.
Check
I
out
need
this
that, right? Right?
like, wow.
I want her to come into this podcast and go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
These turn
And you'd be
on.
like, you could do this too one day. Keep at it. Come over.
You know me.
Wait, I want to ask you something because you said something, and I was trying to explain this to a single woman the other day. So she was talking to me about like dating, and then she goes like, "Oh, something about setting her up with a male, a suitor, a man."
Yeah.
And I was like, I immediately go, "Well, I wouldn't set you up with any comedians." And she goes, "Why?" And I couldn't explain. I was like, "Well, because." And I got stuck. I was like, because they're fucking, you don't want it. And she was like, what? What kind of explanation? I was like, I don't know. I go, I just know that if I care about you, I wouldn't set you up with a comedian.
I agree.
But I don't know.
I know why.
Why?
I know why, because you're not going to be the first love.
Wait. Oh, interesting.
Okay, our first love is the stage, right? And a lot of people can't. No, don't look at me that way.
I didn't know I was
Okay,
looking
all right,
at you.
right. I've gotten to the point in my life where I can put 3 loves in the top space. You know what I mean? So I put you with my brother and my mom and stand up in the same kind of
These is
space.
the love of your life.
The loves of my life,
Yes,
right?
yes.
For a lot of comics, stand up will always be first, right? So that's number one.
I thought about, by the way, if I were single right now, how like getting a woman to adjust to my normal life. I think that like
Wait,
90% would be like, what the fuck? is
Imagine
this?
dating a girl.
Wait, who would you? Who would you replace if something, God forbid, happened to Christina and you had to? Who would you replace as your co-host and then your lover? It
Yeah, let's
has
play
to
the
be
same
in-
game.
But how does she die though? That's important too.
Yeah.
Same as me. She just tripped down, banana peel on the stairwell.
Off a cliff.
No, the Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
She fell in the
Off a
Grand
cliff,
Canyon.
and then somebody accidentally kicked a rock and it hit her on the head when she was at the bottom of the hill.
Oh, we thought
So-
this through. Thought it through.
Who? All right. So what? I need a co-host. I'm trying to think of because I would want a podcast. You know what I mean? Like someone who's podcasting already.
On numbers too.
Oh, you got to get numbers. Yeah.
Numbers.
Oh, I have to change mine then.
No, but you're the numbers.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, Tom, you are also the numbers.
You're the numbers.
Okay. Who have I haven't even. We don't even have enough women on.
It's difficult.
It could be anyone in your mom, maybe anyone in your life.
She's shit. She's such a good podcaster.
Uh-huh.
She's so funny. She'd be great. She actually could actually play. It's funny you say that because when I've had her on, like she plays the role perfectly of here's the subject matter or the clip because we do a lot of clips and reacting in a usually upset way, which is kind of like the vibe, you know?
Yeah.
So she would be awesome at that. As a companion, I mean, there's a few that I get along with.
Just throw out there, baby.
I'm trying to think.
I don't want to edit this podcast. Come on, let's get there. Oh man.
Who was a good? I mean, I don't have any.
Oh Jesus.
What?
You think you're gonna get in trouble if you just throw out a fucking name?
No, I'm honestly trying to think of someone.
Give
Right.
him a choices like 3.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't.
I'll give you 2 choices.
Okay.
Okay. Nikki Glazer.
She's great. She was like first of all, she's a professional broadcaster.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would definitely co-host, hang with her anytime.
Oh, then
Absolutely.
just throw that. That's.
I wanted a suggestion. Okay,
Okay.
give me your second suggestion.
All right. Whitney.
No,
Sarah Tiana.
Sarah Tiana's fantastic at it. And I don't mean Whitney no disparagingly.
Yeah.
I mean like I don't think that we would like she's in charge of her show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she runs that show. So if she were on my show, I'd be like,
I got a good one. Punky.
I've never hung out with her.
Oh, okay. She's on SNL now, but
Huh?
she's on SNL now, but
I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm saying I haven't. Wait, who did you say before? Who else did you
Sarah
say?
Tiana.
Yeah, Sarah I've known
Sarah
for
would be a
long
good
time.
one. I could see that together.
Yeah.
Now Sarah and I could
about
also
sports.
could be my companion, like hang out all the
Yeah.
time.
Tom, could you ever date a woman that, let's say, your wife was in the picture?
Yeah, yeah. She
Did
got
you ever
hit by
date
a
a
bus?
Yeah, and
She got
like,
backed
did you ever date a
over by
woman
the
that
bus,
says this?
and then-
Listen, I know you go on the road on the weekends, but I don't want you performing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights because those are our nights.
No, no, of course not. Of course not. That's what I'm saying. If I were single now, the person is whoever I'm dating is stepping into this universe, and like it's not the other way.
Because I've had girls say that.
No.
Oh yeah, I've had girls go, you perform so much at nights. I get Monday and Tuesdays.
No.
And I'm like, oh, all right.
That's
And then you're at the
one-
fucking Lemley watching some bullshit movies, holding hands when all your buddies are having fun. Oh, there's no way.
No.
Yeah.
And also, like, let's be real here. Like, I'm hooking you the fuck up with this lifestyle. So,
I know, right?
let's fucking cut the shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What do you work at fucking Michael's Arts and Crafts? And you're telling me what I'm doing fucking Tuesday night?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. All
Is that
right.
how you felt? You felt like you were hooking me up?
Well, don't pause that long.
Well,
May I say something?
Yeah.
Because I know that he was going to come in with that mindset. I already had a plan in place.
You did?
Oh, yeah. Of
course you did.
I said I was not going to go to the Comedy Store for months and that he would have to drive to Long Beach to see me and I was not going to enter his world at all.
And did you go to the store? Because I don't.
I'm never there. And also in the beginning, I went maybe
Tom.
6 months later.
I hooked her up, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baby. I hooked
He did.
baby.
I ride his coattails hard. Now I do. Now I can say that.
No,
But in the beginning, it wasn't.
Listen. Okay, I could date a girl, right? And you can access me. Is that the right word?
Yeah, you're accessible.
Yeah, I'm accessible, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is you have to have the talent and the know-how and the drive to do it, right? And Kalila's the perfect example. She, you know what I mean? She has the ability, like,
Yeah.
I just busted his balls a little
No,
bit.
wait,
in the
But
beginning.
you also developed into
Yeah.
like a legit podcast talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
you're
I mean,
actually
like-
you probably started this feeling like, what do I do? Or can I? But like now you're part
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
I've even dated comedians that wouldn't be able to do what you do.
Definitely.
You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that
Dude, there are high level comedians
Mm.
who suck at this. This is a different skill set.
it's a completely different skill set. Yeah.
High level comics.
And
that
that's why
can't do it.
Annie and Esther, they're the ones that came to you, both Zoomed you, right, or whatever that was, and said, "Can you please do a podcast with us?" Right? I mean, you don't get that. They're two credible
Yes.
female comedians, so it's like you definitely took this ball and you ran with it.
I did. So you did hook me up.
Yeah, I did in a weird way, and I don't
Yeah.
feel that to be gross.
Wait,
You have to fuck
why
this.
to go. That's the trade-off. Now, why you said if you weren't with Bobby, if God forbid a fucking safe was dropped on his neck when he was sleeping, if God forbid, and you're like, I would run from this comedy world, but why? Why would you run from the comedy world?
I think it just feels like besides like the few good apples that I've met, and I'm just gonna be fully transparent
Yeah.
here. I don't find there's a whole lot of people with integrity in this business, and I find them to be really slimy and snaky. And once they have like, it's almost like everyone's sort of got the poison in them. And they don't even, there's a lack of awareness that they all have the poison in them, and they all kind of like fight each other, and they're jealous of each other, and
Everyone's
they
like
compete.
scrapping to get.
It's just a world that like I'm barely tolerating because the love of my life is in it.
Yeah.
But I try to keep as far away as possible. Like I
I said something last night that made you go.
don't like to listen to his like Hollywood.
Yeah, I said something last night
this,
that really triggered her and goes, "Why do you even why?" Right?
Do you ever?
I just don't give a shit about like celebrity. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit about that. I don't care about these people.
Do you ever? Because you're not. You might experience this more. I just experienced it recently, where you ever like you go a long period of time only associating with like comics and people in our world, and then like for whatever circumstances, either you travel or you're introduced to, you befriend people that are not, and you kind of go like, oh, I forgot that I'm in this like niche world all the time, and I think this is the universe. And then you step out of it and you're like, oh, it's refreshing. Like
Yeah.
it's refreshing to hang out with like people who don't give a fuck about ticket sales or jokes or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then I kind of feel like I'm like, oh, I want more of this. Like, in other words, I want to, like, I love having my comic friends. Like, hanging out with comedians is the most fun thing. You know, it's like the best part of the store is, performing, but it really is standing in the parking lot and shooting the shit with people. You know, that is like, that's the part where I go home and how was the store? I'm like, Oh yeah, good set. You know what happened? Bobby said that like I talk about the parking lot, you know?
Yeah.
But
It's not just in the parking lot. It's my memories of stand up will always be, going to Greenblatt's with Dalia, Eric Griffin a lot of times. He loves food, and and Santino, whatever, and then like sitting in Greenblatt's, and all of a sudden, like I remember one time, there was this kid that opened for me in Houston, right? And he was just very new at comedy. And he goes, I'm going to come to LA, in 2 months. I'll hit you up. He didn't think that I would answer him, but I did. He came to the store, and then we went to Greenblatt's. And he's this kid, he'd never been to LA before in his life. And I'm sitting there with, Eric Griffin, a bunch of people. And then all of a sudden, like, Daniel Tosh walked up to the table, and we just started ripping him apart. He started ripping us apart, and then Jamie Masada came, and then there was all the Dom Herrera, and all these people came in and out, right? And it really made this kid like go, "Wow, this is cool."
Yeah.
And there was just something magical about it. And we're all those moments, right, are what I'm going to always remember. I'm not going to remember the cattiness of like, I've been in the hallway of the Comedy Store and a comic walking in and just going, "All right, Bobby, you're going to have to say hi." You know what I mean? I hate this person. There's a lot of guys, there's all that political bullshit that I do. You know what I mean? I wish I was better at that. I wish I could just be upfront, but you can't in this business.
It's tricky for you because I feel like you don't have friends outside of the business.
That's exactly
babe,
what I'm talking
I know.
about.
Look,
It's like
I want to back that. Go just real quick.
And I want him to kind of have
Babe.
these like genuine relationships with people because before I met him, like the reason I have no interest in this is because I feel so fulfilled outside of this.
Yes.
Like I've had the same best friend since I was 14 years old. Like I have such a big community of just regular people that do regular things, and it's very fulfilling for me. I don't need this for anything.
Yeah.
I want to show you this thread.
Okay, go ahead.
I've been feeling this exactly what you're saying. So there was a kid that I grew up with. He lived, walking distance from my house, and he was one of my best buddies. Just a lot of childhood memories. And him and I, he's the same guy that like when his parents were at work, we would try to look for the porn that his dad had in his. You know what I mean?
White guy.
White guy, yeah. And he was the first guy. His brother had HIV. And he died when I knew him as a kid. So I knew about, those issues and whatnot. And it destroyed my friend. And then as soon as I started doing show business, I just completely cut ties with him. Never talked to him. Because, you're just in the rigmarole of things, right? Don't make that face. And on December 24th, I said, "Merry Christmas, it's Bobby Lee." I found his number. And he responded, "Hey man, you too. I really enjoyed seeing you at the Comedy Store, Doc. Great show, whatever. Just small talk. But I'm going to make an effort.
I'm going to ask a very controversial question, and you have to be honest with me. And George, we may have to cut this out. But did you or did you not have sexual relations with?
Okay. Hey,
Because that would mean you're flirting.
No.
And trying to rekindle something.
Sweetie. All right, you put the note.
Got it.
Okay. Stop. All right, don't smile.
Is this his advanced technique?
This is whose dick you sucked, right?
Okay, stop for a second. Okay. George, all right, so check.
Is he doing this? Is he the one doing this?
I don't know. I don't like to smile.
I think
I don't like to smile at all. So check it out. All right, I'm going to now and this is all cut out. All right, I'm going to be completely forthright and honest with the room. With everyone. I have nothing to hide. All right. And if I'm gay, I'm gay. I'm not. All right. But I don't give a fuck. All right. So here's the thing. All right. And I, right? 69 and sucked each other's dick and try to fuck each other in the ass probably 5 times in my life. 5 times in my life. Always in a drunken stupor. Okay.
Okay.
There was a kid named right, who lived down the street from me. We would go to parties, and he would grab the back of my head and go, "Suck my dick in this bush," and I would suck it. All right.
This is the one with Downs.
No, he doesn't have Downs. Okay. No, that happened when I was a kid.
Okay.
All right. And then one time we went on a school camping trip, right? And I happened to be in the same tent, right? And we kissed each other's penis for like 3 seconds.
Oh, that's nothing.
You right? That's it. That's it.
Are
You want to cut this stuff out of this episode?
Yeah, because wife and kids, and he doesn't have.
Oh, no, we're just gonna bleep the
We'll
names.
just do a little bleep, but don't.
No. We're cutting. We're
No.
cutting it out.
Is this the part where like we go and we're back?
No. So what I'm saying is, I'm trying with this guy.
Welcome back. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm trying with this guy, but it's like that's all the experiences I had, right? And the reason why, people put a microscope on it, right, is because of the fact that I believe that a lot of human beings have those kind of experiences, but they hide it and they don't talk about it.
I think you're totally.
And they're ashamed by it. And so when I talk about it, it feels like it's like this gigantic elephant in the room when it's just a common thing, I think.
It is so common. I mean,
Right? So
It's
I'm not
common,
going to
and
feel
I
weird
think-
about it.
I think you're brave and vulnerable to actually be open about it and talk about it. I'm serious. I don't think a lot.
You know
of
why?
people-
You know why I do that? Because years ago I was on YouTube and I was watching the Richard Pryor roast.
Yeah.
Okay, and Richard was roasting all these people, right? And then he basically goes, "Also, I sucked a gay guy off. You know what I mean? 6 months ago." And I said it out. He said it out loud, and he goes, and I just want to throw that out there so that because I know that Paul Moon is going to use it against me one day, right? So that's what happened, right? So he just threw it out there.
Yeah.
And when I was watching that, I was a comic. Then I was a young comic, and I was going, "Oh my God, that's just so honest."
He took the power out of it too.
The power out of it's also so honest and and there's nothing to be shameful about it.
Yeah.
Right. He's just being honest. So
There was a kid in my high school on the football team who was like a big jacked, like fucking, 5-star athlete, and he would when like you'd have sleepovers. A bunch of guys kept saying that they would wake up in the middle of the night with his hand down their pants, like fondling them. And he slept at my house like 50 times and never touched me. And I always was a little pissed about that. So like, you're not even gonna try to like touch my thigh and like nothing.
yeah.
But
Are you being real?
I swear to God.
Yeah.
And then my cousin was visiting one time, staying at my house. In the morning, he goes, "Do you know what your fucking friend did?"
Yeah.
He goes, "I woke up, he had his hand in my pants." And I was like, I mean, seriously, dude? Like, this is like...
Maybe he didn't do it to you because he thought you were gay.
He thought I was gay?
That he would take it the wrong way.
I don't know.
You wonder. You just weren't his type.
I was a little hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But by the way, the friends outside of comedy,
Mm-hmm.
I think what's super appealing is that they don't want something from you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everybody in comedy kind of. I mean, obviously you associate with your peers and you guys just have dinner, but a lot of the like that world feels like it's for something. Like
Yeah.
even you get somebody be like, "Let's meet for coffee." Oh, great, let's have coffee. But at coffee, it's about this project or this thing that you. So it's like it's fun to associate with people outside of comedy who like the last thing on their mind is something related to our business.
Yeah. And also, it's like my friends treat me like shit.
Yeah,
I like that. I
Yes.
like that they
I got
don't.
such a rush from talking to a couple like people recently who gave me shit. Like, and that was, and I was like ear to ear smiling. And they were like, "Why?" I go, "I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
fun."
I missed
You're
it.
Like, you're giving me shit. You're
Yeah.
giving me shit about something.
My best friend, she just knows, or a bunch of my girlfriends, they just know who I am. They know me for the stupid bitch that I am, and they hold my feet to the fire. They don't just take anything from me.
Yeah,
They
that feels good.
feels really good.
Yeah.
But
I want it.
you want it? I think you can have it.
I'm gonna have it. And I swear to God, as soon there's already two guys that I grew up with that as soon as this pandemic is done, right, there's gonna be some visits.
There's gonna be some what?
Visits. Okay. I'm gonna visit them, or they're gonna visit me, and I'm gonna reach out. One of them I used to be in a band with. We were talking about doing a reunion of our band. I'm gonna do that maybe, and I'm gonna do it.
Hey guys, we're going to take a really quick break to share some more of our favorite sponsors with you.
Manscaped.
For everyone preparing for a pants party this spring break, I have an exclusive 20% off discount. Go to manscaped.com/tigerbelly.
You guys, I'm a man. All right, that's proven. And Manscaped is dedicated to helping you level up your full body grooming game. When I'm grooming my body, guys, and my face, I only use Manscaped because it's the best product out there. The Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes with Essential Lawnmower 3.0 waterproof cordless body trimmer and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your grooming routine. The other day, you saw me shave my pubic regions, correct?
Yes, sir. I
And
did.
I use what?
You used a Manscaped.
Exactly. This is the best trimmer on the market for those of you in need of a chest or ball shave. I love ball shaves. They're so refreshing.
No nicks to your dicks, guys.
Yeah, their third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to advanced skincare technology pioneered by Manscaped. Tell them more, babe.
You can also adjust settings to get a length you like, and you can stay on top of it with almost no effort at all. Don't ruin any vibes this spring break or upcoming summer with some peeking pubes coming out of your swimsuit. Ooh, I could take that note for myself.
Get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/Tigerbelly. Get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/Tigerbelly. That's 20% off with free shipping by going to manscaped.com/Tigerbelly. Say aloha to your new beautiful balls with Manscaped.
Aloha.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Tom, do you play an instrument?
I just started taking piano lessons over the weekend,
Why piano?
and I had my second lesson today.
Wow, how's that going? Do you have piano fingers?
I have a hand that doesn't even work,
Oh, that's correct. Yes.
so no. But
Why do you want to learn that?
I don't know. I just like my son was taking lessons, and I kept walking by, and I've never taken lessons before, so I stopped one day, and I was like, "Hey, I want to take a lesson," and she was like, "Okay," and I thought, and then I was like, "All right," she's gonna be like, C major. It's gonna be. I was like, I guess I'll deal with it. But right away, she was like, "What kind of songs?" So I started sending her music, and then we're just working on the music that she sent.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's fun.
Yeah.
It's good to have another creative focus that has nothing to do with writing or like what we're used to.
That's what I hate about you.
What's that?
Always trying to grow and be better.
No, it's like Bert's kind of in a way the same. You know what I mean? Where it's like when I look at this piece of shit, you know what I mean? You're a great guy, but it's like, there's always like, I'm doing this, you know what I mean, to grow, or I'm doing this because I want to get out of this rut or whatever. And it's like, it's just a reminder that I'm not doing those things. And I don't know. I just feel like
You're up against something really big though, which is adult ADHD. And it really is hard to like put your focus somewhere like 100%.
It's hard for me too, by the way. I don't want to give you the impression that I easily focus because I'm not saying I have whatever you have, but I'm saying it is a struggle, like, that resistance to, like, I'm constantly fighting against.
I can only do one thing at a time. Like,
I
for
hear you.
instance,
Huh.
I had two things to do this weekend. That Monday morning thing. But I had another urgent deadline to throw in this audition for a movie, right?
Damn these fucking auditions.
Right? Have you been doing them?
I did a few, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, fuck you. Stop that. Yeah.
I know. It's like, I sent one in today, and they're like, you forgot your headshot and your slate.
Dude, I auditioned for, I don't even want to say.
Yeah.
I auditioned for a major franchise thing, and you can tell the flex of a worldwide phenom hit by the instructions in the audition.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I have.
like they're like, make sure you do this. If you don't do this, we'll just tell you to resend it. Like it says it in their instructions.
Yeah.
And it's like, slate this way, don't do that. Don't write something on the screen. Like just do this. Make sure the cuts are like this. Make sure you title. I'm like, this is for, like, and you go, no one auditions like sends you instructions like this, and then they go, yeah, but they're very important, so that's why they.
Or sometimes they'll go, sign this before we even send it to you. And you're like, oh, you have some confidentiality. Like, I'm going to fucking tweet this fucking thing. You know what I mean? Also, today they were like, we need a headshot, right? We need your slate, which means slating is this. Before the audition, you have to go, hi, I'm Bobby Lee. I'm 5'4". Here are my profiles. You have to do your profiles, right?
Yeah.
The director of the movie is one of my best friends.
Oh yeah.
I still have to.
You still have to.
I have to slate. Hi, you know me for 25 years. Yeah, I want to say that.
Yeah.
You've known me for 25 years, right? But I'm going to do this because you're killing it in life, right? And I'm going to allow you to have this power. do this. And then, you know what I mean? 3 years down the road, it's going to happen. I didn't get the part, right?
Yeah.
Right? and he's gonna say something like, "Oh, you did good on that." It's just fine. I'll do it, right? But it's just like doing it. It's a to-do,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna do it because that's the game, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here, and I'm gonna try.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good attitude.
What movie was that for you?
I don't want to say.
Just say it and we'll bleep it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just for a project.
It's just.
It's the biggest. Yeah. It's, you know what I mean?
What?
For that, I would fucking. Should I suck dick?
Yeah, I would have too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You did throw it in, though, right?
That I'll suck his dick?
No. That you did put in the audition. You have to.
I did everything they asked
You
me
have
to
to
do.
try. You have to
course,
try.
Of course.
You have to try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think I'm going to get in trouble for even saying all that stuff?
What stuff? What part?
About, you know what I mean? This audition and stuff.
No.
No, you're
No.
not going to get in trouble for that. No. By the way, this is amazing.
I know it's one of my favorite things. I don't even know how you get it because I try to look online.
Where do
how
you
to
get it?
La Colombe directly.
Amazon will send it? You're giving me a few before I fucking leave, man.
Do you have any more?
I'm just kidding.
Get him another one. All right, make sure he gets him another one.
These are amazing.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to do that, man. Come on.
Come on, man.
Those are incredible.
But how amazing it is it that, like, you know, I have to say this, and I kind of give, I said this last night about Mark Maron, and I want to give him props.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the, for me at least, he was a trailblazer when it comes to podcasting.
Yeah.
You know, the way he got into podcasting too was, you know, just out of, you know, I mean, sheer desperation. You know, he was.
Is that how he got into it?
Yeah, he was. You know, because I knew his wife Mishna, and he got a divorce. He went to the garage. He had suicidal thoughts, and then it clicked in his head like I could turn this into a podcast studio. You know what I mean? And then he kind of started doing it. And here's a guy who, the last movie he did a long time ago, when I saw him in, was Almost Famous. He played a road manager or whatever, but he didn't work much after that, right?
Right.
And he's now in a situation where it's like, I don't know what else to do. He does the podcast. There's a following, and all of a sudden he's in everything.
He is in everything.
Right. And so in my mind, I was like, will that happen to us?
Oh, right.
You know, but the ones after him, right? And it is happening. I mean, because I know the kind of shit that Theo's doing, the kind of people he's working with. I know the opportunities that I'm getting, the opportunities that you're getting, right? And I think that we have to, you know, thank Joe, I think, and guys like Mark for even doing this for don't you think, or no?
Yeah, no, I mean, they essentially showed us a blueprint, right? Like
It's a blueprint, yeah.
I mean, and also they were, you know, Joe for me was like constantly encouraging me, like not even encouraging, like he was like, you have to do this. This is 2009, and I was like, what are you even talking about, man?
Yeah.
Because I did one of these with him on his couch in his office, and I was like, what is this? Like,
I used to go remember he used to do it in the ice house?
yeah, I did.
I used
those
to
two.
drive over there to do the ice house, and
But I'm saying on the couch ones, we're talking the first, I did the first
before.
5.
Wow.
Like of his show. I did one of the first 5 episodes, and then I walked out, and I was talking to Red Band. I was like, "What are you guys doing?" Like, I just thought it was like when a rich guy has some like new shit he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And you're like, "That's good," like his deprivation tank, and you're like, "Okay," like that kind of thing. Where I was like, "What?" And then I remember him saying like, "People are listening," and I was like, "How do you even know?" Because we didn't have metrics.
Right.
He was like, he had a message board on his website.
That's incredible.
That's what Joe used to have, like a message board on his website. And he was like, look at this. And you could see all these people having conversations about what we spoke about. I was like, okay. And that went on for a year. He would, every time he's like, why don't you start a podcast? Why don't you start a podcast? I mean, constantly. And then, I remember like the different like kind of iterations of his show evolving in different studios and all that stuff. And, it grew into a mammoth. But you're right in that there's no way I would have started one when I did without him doing it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's so funny because when we started ours, I remember calling CAA because I know that they had started a podcast division. Mm-hmm. And I remember going, hey, I'm starting one with my girlfriend. And they're like, yeah, we only do the big ones.
Yeah.
So can you help us? They're like, nah, just do it on your own. It's fine. Right? And then just us, remember that? Mm-hmm. And then you and I just kind of going, I guess get no help. You know what I mean? And from people that rep me, you know what I mean? Who I'm still with, but you know what I mean? And
They so don't get it though. Like,
we start, but now it's so my manager, everyone's
well, yeah,
like,
now everyone,
they're calling
please.
like, can we, you know, we're trying to get you advertise. We have a fucking machine already. They're trying to get us advertisements
course.
when we already did it.
But I remember one time an agent being like, this is like not even that long ago. And like, you know, we have podcasts that are clearly, you know, people are watching and listening, generating revenue that's obvious. And they're like, they called me and they're like, how can we help? And I was like, with what?
Right. Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like, with
yeah,
the
yeah.
podcast. And I was like, I don't know what you mean. And they're like,
Yeah.
"Just how could we help, like, you know, expand this? And I was like, I don't know. What do you think you could do?
Yeah.
They're like, well, I'm just saying, like, if there's something you need. And I was like, I don't. Like, I
Yep.
mean, I'm open to your new idea, but are you calling me for me to give you an idea?
All right.
Like, that's what this sounds like. And then they're like, the way they fish, because they're not privy to, so they're like, what is, like, how many downloads for this? And then they're
They
like,
don't know CPMs.
yeah, they're
don't know
trying to
that. Yeah.
calculate things, and they're like, yeah, so okay, like, well, if you need help, we're right here. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll call you if I need help.
Yeah, because they don't get any of it.
Yeah,
That, you know, they don't, if you helped me, right? And you know what I mean, you know, had anything to do with production or getting me certain guests or this and that, right? But they weren't willing to do anything,
yeah.
right? And if they did, I would even give them something, right?
Well, I always tell them that, like, because I had another call with a guy who, whatever, it just went on, and I was like, look, man, here's because I feel like we're talking in circles, kind of thing. I was like, if you bring me something that is worthwhile and we pursue, we can work something out.
right.
Like, bring something to this, you know, because so far it was just conversations about like a bunch of what ifs. I'm like, okay, here are things that would be beneficial. Go make those things happen, and
Yeah.
then
You know what it
call
would
me
be?
then.
I'd be even willing to go with a deal with my agents and go, get me guests that no one can get,
Yeah, yeah.
that you rep.
We tried that. And
Have
it didn't
you?
work.
Did you ever hire a talent booker? No, a talent booker.
No,
I hired
yes.
one.
We
didn't
did.
work.
Well, it was horrible timing because we hired her and this whole agency right before the lockdown. So we
I
were
think
doing
Jordan
That
it.
was the
that.
same one. Yeah.
Yeah, we were
We
doing
did. We did it.
Yes.
We did the same thing.
Yeah. It didn't work.
Yeah, so like I mean, we agree that like we could revisit this later, but the funny thing is like you go into it with like a wish list, right? Like
Yeah.
like if I'm gonna pay you to bring me guests, like don't call me with, hey, do you want to have Bobby? I'm like, I can text Bobby.
I know.
No, but like I don't mean I'm saying like don't bring me people whose number I have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
So
it's because Oliver Hudson, right, has a podcast.
yeah,
His agent or his publicist keeps contacting me
yeah.
and go, can you do please Oliver's podcast? And I call him directly. And I go, will your fucking guy stop fucking asking? Just call me.
Yeah.
He goes, I didn't even know they were reaching out to you. Right? That's how snaky
Yes,
it is.
that's sneaky. I mean, the flip side too is like when I had something to promote and the publicist starts like sending me podcasts. I'm like, hey, bro. I go, I can call the 5 biggest comedy podcasts, and like you can stop sending me these.
Yeah,
because he was
yeah.
sending me like new like you know what I mean, like small. I was like, man, don't you want me to just go do Tigerbelly and Rogan? And he's like, oh yeah, if you can make that happen. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I could just do that on my own.
Wow.
But the talent thing, the funny thing is, I gave the wish list like an expansive, like these people reach out, you know, and like we got answers on like this person's touring or this person's this person's interested. This person will be in LA at this time, and then they start going like, how about this person? You're like, who the fuck is this? And they're like, this is like an author of. And I'm like, I go, what field is this person in? Why would I want them on? And they're like, I don't. So they go like, would you consider
Right.
other things? Which I'm not saying I'm completely opposed to, but you're like, no, stick to the list. Like, if it's not on the wish list, it better be close to the wish list. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I want to know
But-
what's on your wish list,
I'll show you the wish list.
please.
Yeah, sure. I'll show you.
Because if I ask for like Aiden Quinn and you get me like Kevin Bacon,
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right.
Sure.
Basically what I'm saying, if I ask for like Arnold Schwarzenegger and you give me Sylvester Stallone, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, you're not doing your job. But
Yeah.
you're asking for Arnold Schwarzenegger and they're giving you like some guy that owns a gym down the street.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Tom, is your arm doing better?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Oh, that's right. You almost
The nerves
died.
are good.
So the nerve.
You almost died.
Yeah, the nerve is bruised. It's not damaged,
Mm.
so it'll come back. But like, you know, I can grip,
Yeah.
but they're called your extenders.
Yeah.
And I can't extend this handle.
I don't know.
Does it still because I know nerve pain and nerve issues is probably one of the most annoying shit to deal with.
It's numb. So like this is all numb
Yeah.
right here. I don't have like shooting nerve pain or anything.
Oh, thank God.
But like it's annoying because you just go like you want to go
Yeah.
grab something and I can't. Like I literally can't.
You know, I one of my weird anxiety things that I can throw me into a full panic because I used to have breast implants and they were double D's and I took them out.
You had double D.
Double
Oh, they were
implants?
nice.
You hated them.
I mean,
Wait, you had them when you were together?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I met her and she didn't have them.
And then he begged me not to get them. He's like, I like little kiwi titties. Like, please don't get them. And I
Yeah.
was like,
And then she
"Eh."
got them anyway because she didn't really know me that well.
Yeah.
Really? Like it was early on?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, well, you know, I don't know how long this guy is gonna stick around. Like, I'm gonna need these titties to parlay, you know, some kind of success in my
Mm-hmm. Sure.
life, right? And then I took them out because I just hated them. I hated the way I felt in them. But it caused a lot of like nerve damage in like the center of my chest. So I don't have sensation here. So when I touch that area and I don't feel anything, it like I spiral into a panic because I'm like, but that skin, and how come I can't like I don't like not having sensation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a weird sensation. The hand thing. Because the knee, like, you know, I can walk and go upstairs and downstairs now because I tore this tendon, you know, completely. That as crazy as it is, it's like
Easy fix. You're
Well,
cyborg, and that's good, right?
you just know, like, I know it's not stable yet because it's going to take like a full year to get the quads back to where they were. But the hand thing, like the arm, you know, I have titanium plates
Yeah.
in my arm. So like that part, that's fine. Like I can pick things up, I can
Yeah.
move, like, but I can't, like the nerve makes it so that I can't extend my hand. Yeah, can't do it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened.
For real?
Yeah. I knew, I saw, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I didn't see this. Oh my.
Bobby, you've never seen this.
You've never seen this, Bobby? Look at his arm.
Oh my fucking God, dude.
He's never
Oh my fucking God.
seen this.
Oh my God, Bobby.
Oh my fucking God.
He knew you broke something, but he didn't see the video.
No, I saw Annie Letterman's one where she was playing basketball and she did a thing, and I didn't
Yeah.
know why that was the thing.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen
Let me say something right now.
Yeah.
I swear to God, on my mother's life,
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Why did you do that?
There's a freak accident, man.
Oh my
Perfect.
I mean,
God.
It really does send
It was,
shivers down.
yeah, it's rough.
Oh my God.
Can you watch that of yourself?
I've seen it so many times now, you know, like, yeah, that's why my nerves are fucked.
You're actually
Oh my
dealing with the pain really well.
Yeah, well, I'm the one that said call 911 because they're all looking at me and they're like,
Oh.
"You all right?" And I was like, "Call 911."
But you lost weight from it
Almost 30 pounds now.
Yeah, so that's a good thing.
It's good. Yeah.
because you look completely different from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had just beat Bert. That's what nobody talks about. I just beat him, and that was after we competed. So we competed. We were doing fat guy dunk contest, which is like
Was Bert there?
yeah. Bert's the one who takes my arm and puts it down.
Oh my God.
So we competed, and we're going. You know, we lower the rim to like 7 feet, and then we go 7.5, and then 8, and then 8.5, and then on 9 he couldn't do it. I did it. So they're like, it's over. You win.
Yeah.
And so I was like, great. And somebody there was like, you know, Tom, you got hops, man. Like you should try to go. I swear to God, though, you should try. I think you can do a little bit higher. And they crank it up 3 inches.
Oh my God.
Right? Because it's a crank thing. It goes to 9'3". That black dude, Roy, is a basketball coach, and he pulled me aside. I told this story on that thing, but he goes, I'm gonna need you to dig deep on this one.
Oh,
And
God.
I told this because it's true. When he said it, you know, he like I get like a flashback to like coaches, like when I played sports, you know. So I was like, yeah. Like I was like, I am gonna dig deep right now. And I feel the adrenaline, like your throat kind of dries out. So you're like, I'm gonna give this everything I fucking have. And what happens, like what you're seeing there is when I push off my left leg, I tear my patellar tendon in half, like it rips off the bone. And so it's a freak accident to
Yeah,
happen.
it's just the perfect.
And then my body, not consciously, instinctively,
right there.
so that right when I go in the air, like when I'm leaving, right as I'm pushing off, right there, my tendon's already
Yeah.
torn.
Oh my
So
God.
it's torn, and then instinctively, my arm, I'm not thinking about it. My arm goes behind to
Is
like
that an
brace
Asian
for a
guy?
Yeah.
fall. Because I don't know if I'm 1 or 20 inches off the ground. You know, it's happening
Yeah.
so fast. You're like, so your arm goes behind your back, and then I land on it, and it just
Yeah.
splits in half.
Oh, your leg.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But that's 245 pounds too.
Oh shit!
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God. So
Yeah.
that happened.
So that's why my fucking hand doesn't work.
That's why I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Well, Tom's been everywhere since that accident. He hasn't been home nursing this thing. He's literally,
No, but I was in the hospital and in rehab for 3 weeks. So I spent December in a hospital and then in a rehab facility.
I remembered thinking before
I got
this video
COVID there.
came out.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
great.
you got COVID from the hospital?
In the hospital, yeah.
Oh shit! That's
Well, while you
double
were
fucking
there,
whammy.
you got COVID?
I got COVID in the hospital, yeah.
Oh lord!
Oh, imagine that.
I
you have all
mean-
that and then the cove.
Yeah.
My
I
God.
remember.
And I thought I had oxy withdrawals because I was taking so much oxy at first.
Yeah.
Like, they were just pumping me.
Of course,
And they're like,
yeah.
are you in
Are you
pain
on the
still?
pump?
And I'm like, yeah. No, they were bringing me the pills and they were giving me Dilaudid too.
Dilaudid.
Straight in the IV and then straight in my arm.
But they didn't let you pump it on your own.
No.
you
But
feel
they were coming on a pretty regular rotation.
Feel good though?
Dilaudid's hard.
drug?
The Dilaudid, yes. The oxys, I was like, okay, I guess I feel a little better. Like it was never enough. You know, when they were like, how's your pain now? I'm like, yeah, everything still hurts. Yeah. And they're,
Really?
Yeah. And they were like, how about now? I'm like, 100%.
Dilaudid. You could feel
Dilaudid felt like what heroin must feel like, because you'd feel a warm rush through your chest, and then you just be like, you know, and then they're like, how about now? I'm like, I feel pretty good now. Like just
Good night moon.
Yeah.
And I would ask for it. Like, I get some more Dilaudid, and they were like,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I remember when you first tweeted that you had broken like multiple
Yeah.
bones. I was trying to sort out what had happened. The first thing was like, oh, it's got to be a car accident.
Everyone
This is
said
horrible.
car.
And second, I was like, oh, it must have been an e-scooter because a lot of my friends with
Yeah.
like these new scooters are just fucking.
I know a couple people that ate shit on them.
like
Yeah.
hard too.
Hard.
Like multiple fractures.
I know somebody went to the hospital. Yeah.
But here's the question I wanted to ask you. Is this normal that when something happens to someone that like it's like a fun guessing game for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have to know, and I look through 80,000 comments. Everyone's like, oh, like for instance, when someone dies, condolences. That's I go through everything. What happened? Like how come no one's
I do the same thing. I do the same thing, especially on a death when they're like, especially when the person is not of an age where you expect them to
Yeah.
die.
Like Eric Myers.
Like Eric Myers, and
Yeah.
you go and you see like Eric Myers passed away, and you're like, what happened?
I still don't know what happened.
Yeah.
What I got was he was in Texas early morning by a truck stop, and he got run over by a truck. That's what somebody told me.
What?
Yeah.
Is that for real?
That's what we were told.
That's what I was told.
Seriously?
Yeah, somebody. I called somebody because I love Eric, and I haven't talked about him. I've not talked about him since he died. He died 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I just can't. I cannot talk about it. Let me tell you about this kid. Eric Myers was a kid that always destroyed on stage.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
Crazy energy.
Crazy energy. I remember he opened for me in DC once, and I remember telling the club owner, I go, "Why did you give me this beast?"
Yeah.
Right. He was that good.
Yeah.
And then he would slip into these drug binges to the point where one time I was at the Comedy Store shooting the documentary, Mike Binders. He had me there during the day. And I remember somebody goes, Eric Myers is outside. This is during the day. I go outside. Eric Myers is wearing yellow pajamas, like the kind that you would get like with Minions on it from Target.
Yeah.
No shoes, right? The yellow pajamas were ripped where his knees, right? You could see blood, and it was bleeding into the fucking yellow pajamas. His feet were all scarred up, no shoes, right? He had on his face a lesion, a bloody scar lesion from the top of his forehead coming down his face, right? He was trembling. He was all dirt. He was a homeless guy. He goes, "Hey man, I knew you were gonna be here." He goes, "I don't know what I can eat. I don't know what to do." Right, and so I, obviously I went, which just goes against every fucking thing that ever was ever taught about, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
enabling, and whatnot. I went and got like $200. I go, "Here, dude, get yourself, go to the Best Western, take a fucking shower, right? And if you need anything else," I gave him the money. I didn't see him for another year.
He got sober after that.
He got sober after that, right? And then next thing you know, you think everything's fine. And then
And
3
he was
weeks ago,
engaged.
yeah, engaged. He's doing the road. He was just coming from a gig he did in Oklahoma, and then he's dead. And it's like no one can tell me what really happened.
I remember meeting him years ago in Florida doing a show, and he was kind of like the talk of that community. You know what I mean? When you go to a place and they're like, "This dude rips here." I can't remember if he was on my show or not. I just remember them talking about him and meeting him there. And I definitely saw him do a set, so he must have been on my show.
Yeah.
But he fucking destroyed. But I heard even back then that he had like real struggles with, addiction. But I was trying to deduce what happened, and I kept seeing that there was like these fundraisers that all in the fundraising thing, it said for his family and cancer society stuff. So
I think his father had passed away.
his father had just
like
passed
a
away.
week prior is what.
But you heard he got hit by a truck? Really?
That he was.
I will say that Bobby is a highly unreliable source.
No. I didn't make it up. Why would I make that up? I'll tell you who I
An
called.
outrageous way.
I called Johnny Sanchez.
Okay.
Now, Johnny Sanchez, is my friend, and he's done this podcast, and he also is a big Laugh Factory guy. I'm not a big Laugh Factory guy, and he knew Eric, right? And Johnny's one of those like guys that knows everybody. He's like a gossip guy. He knows all the tidbits, you know what I mean? And info out there. So I go, "What happened?" He goes, "This is what I heard. I heard that he had a gig in Oklahoma. He had another gig in Texas, but he came down early." And I go, "Was he on drugs?" He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "I don't know." I go, "All I know is that he was hit by a truck stop in Arlington or somewhere."
This is insane, dude.
Right. And I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy."
That's
It was like
really
5:30 in the morning. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know how he died, but you could have died from basketball. And that would have been the
what's
saddest.
funny?
That would have
I
been the
did something-
saddest fucking headline.
I did something like that I've been told is insane since then. So when I went to the hospital, obviously the paramedic came, took me from there. They're like, "Your leg doesn't work, your arm's fucking in half." So we're taking you to the hospital near that court. And when we pulled up to that hospital, I was like, "Fuck this." Like, I knew it was a shitty hospital. So they do x-rays, they wrap my arm poorly, put this brace on my leg, and they're like, "You need like 2 major surgeries." And I was like, "Not here. I'm not doing it."
Good call.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You want to go home?" And I was like, "Fuck yes."
Can I guess what hospital?
No, because I can't say.
I know, but we'll bleep it. Was it in the Valley?
No.
Okay, God, because there's one there where I'm like, nobody go there. Everyone dies.
Wait,
there.
There's one really good one in the valley.
There
Was
is
it
one.
was it in like more inner city?
No.
Okay.
But
Why are we playing
I-
this game?
That's fun though.
I got picked up. I can't walk, move, anything. I mean, everything's fresh broken.
My God.
And I get in my friend's car, and what we should have done is gone right to the emergency room of another hospital.
Yeah.
I went home.
Oh no!
Why?
I went home completely broken. I got help to get to a couch, and then I was like, "All right, like just in the morning, I guess we'll figure this out." And so in the morning, my Bert and my friend Lindsay, they get me into a van, and I go to a doctor, right? And a doctor through a consult, a doctor friend was like, "You need to go see this dude. This dude's the shit. He's a sports trauma guy." So I get into his office, and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing here, man?"
Wow.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Go to the hospital." I was like, all right, I was at a hospital last night. He goes, you left? And I was like, well, I was at that hospital.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, yeah, I would have left there.
Yeah.
He's like, but you shouldn't be here. You should be at a hospital right
How did you spend the night in your house in all that pain?
Were you just in like a fever dream? Like it was
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't even like falling asleep, you know. It was just like kind of, I probably slept, I don't know, an hour or two.
I'm so curious to know what Christina was like.
Yeah, what was she saying?
I think she was kind of overwhelmed because like the Kreischers came and like set stuff up in this room, and you know, fucking Bert, even like he knew how fucked up I was.
Yeah.
Next to the nightstand, he put a jar of vitamin C and calcium for your bones. and then snacks. He put all types of snacks like Doritos. I was like, the fuck is all this?
Yeah.
It was in case you get hungry. Like
yeah.
Cheetos and shit. I was like, I'm not eating this shit, man. I'm like,
Wow.
and then yeah, so then it was a whole thing after that. But yeah, it was wild.
Well, I'm glad you're alive.
Yeah, me too, man. Oh, this is what prompted it. That doctor, when I wheeled into his office, he was like, "What are you doing here?" He was like, "All right, let me tell you what's gonna happen." He's like, "This isn't shit." He points to my arm. He's like, "They're just gonna put some plates in there, and your arm's gonna." He goes, "This is a fucking problem, right?" And I go, "Okay." He goes, "Like, you got to reattach a tendon to your patella, and your knee's not gonna work for it. It's gonna be a long thing." And I go, "Okay." And he goes, "But look at the upside. Could have been worse." And I go, "How so?" And he goes, "You know how you fell back?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You could have landed on your head, and then you'd slur for the rest of your life." And he just stared at me, and I was like,
Oh shit.
"Okay."
Oh my gosh.
Because he's right. Like if I had landed on my head instead of my arm,
Yeah.
you could have had brain damage.
Yeah, I knew this kid in high school, and he was a star baseball player, and he had some weird freak accident with a skateboard. It wasn't like he was bombing a hill or anything. It was just like he was trying to do like a basic ollie, and he just fell wrong, and he landed on the back of his head here. And to this day, he he's a quadriplegic. Like he is unable to care for himself. Like when I hear shit like that, I get so freaked out by freak accidents like that.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean,
if you landed on your head and you had a slur, right? How long would we have to wait to make fun of you?
well, people would have right away.
No, I wouldn't have. I would have waited at least 6 months,
6 months?
and they had you on and go, "How you doing?" and just mocked you. You know?
Oh,
what I
now
mean?
I'm fucking Thai or something? Like, so I
Oh, whatever. I mean,
no, I yeah, people would have made. I mean, we're comics. We would have
yeah,
made fun.
I
of
don't think
anybody.
I don't need to say. I don't think I would. I'd feel so devastated.
It would be. I
It
think
would be devastating.
the people close to me would be fucked up because you guys would all be like, that could be. You'd be like, oh, yeah, that could be us. Like people who, and I'm sitting here being like, how's everybody doing tonight? Like,
Oh
shows.
my
Yeah.
god! And then I have to convince you after shows, like, no, it was really good,
Oh yeah.
right?
And I
Yeah,
just
you're
get
"Hey,
like,
Phil."
I get a bunch of like pity
And then all your jokes would have to be kind of revolved around the slur.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be like an hour of like, yeah. I just everybody talks different. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Well, it would just be like a new, like Madonna. It's just a new look.
A new look. Yeah.
Yeah.
The slur guy though. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I'd get invited to like those like speech impediment seminars. Like you guys can be successful. like I'm on Netflix.
I know.
Yeah.
And then we would have to like come over a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think we'd have to come over a lot, especially in the beginning?
No, I'm sure he'd hate it. He'd be like, please, like,
I'd
stay
have
the
to
fuck
come and
home.
like and get like a speech therapy machine. Do they have those?
Yeah. Speech therapy.
I don't know.
like a speak spelling machine.
I don't know, something. You know what I mean? I would get it on
Damn it.
eBay or whatever,
Yeah,
and bring it over. Maybe this will help. You know what I mean? You put it on your face. I don't know how it works.
I mean, I knew a guy who was. I knew a hot guy who was struck by lightning, and he needed to. He was still very highly fuckable, but he did have a weird lightning voice.
Get a weird lightning
Like,
voice.
do it.
I can't say his name,
try
but this is really his name.
Yeah.
But I remember my friend and I were like, "Oh my god, that's got that guy so hot." And we went over. I was like, "Hey, like my name's so and so," and he's like, "My name is."
But he's still hot.
But
Really?
he's still hot.
Mhm.
Black guy.
Jamar.
No, half Asian guy, and
Half Asian.
my friend
Okay.
still made out with him. Didn't care.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait, you just saw him like sitting around somewhere? Or?
No, he was at a party. We were younger. It was
okay,
like
okay.
a friend's like house party and
So
stuff.
you're like, oh, you knew he was already hit by lightning?
No, we didn't.
Oh, so you're just like, this guy's hot. Let's go talk to
Yeah,
him.
and then later on we found out that he.
Kinda. Like he's talking to you.
He had to put a machine to his throat, like one
Yeah,
of those
like
mic
it's
things?
kind of like to magnify the voice a little
Oh,
bit.
I
So he
see.
was like, but yeah, he was just.
Yeah, but when you're in bed, you know.
it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really doesn't
Well,
matter.
he's gonna make fun. You know, what if he puts the mic to his?
I'm going to come.
Yeah. Oh yeah, feels good.
But imagine that happening.
Feels good.
Imagine if you had sex with him and then he doesn't pull out and you're like, "Did you come inside me?" He's like, "Hold on, sorry about that." Like, dude, you gotta fucking tell me.
Yeah.
I didn't want to stop and tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
He couldn't stop because
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to
he don't want to go grab the machine.
Production.
Yeah.
Right.
stop
That's
having sex.
interesting.
Where do you want me to come? Like, fucking, that's not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No
Yeah.
thrill there.
Yeah. or he just he would just say, "I'm gonna do it," and she says, "No." You're right.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll forget it. That's rapey. Cut that part out. Cut that part.
Don't you cut that part out. Don't you fucking cut that part out.
Cut that part out.
No.
Yeah, it was a joke that didn't land.
No.
I'm blushing. 'cause
You cannot cut that out.
I'm blushing because the joke didn't work.
That is staying in. I'm gonna fucking fight
I
you.
didn't even understand what I was even trying to say.
That has to stay
I
in.
didn't even understand what I was trying to say. So cut that out. Put
If
that
you
in the
cut that
notes.
out, we have a fucking problem.
That in
Okay.
the fucking notes. Anyway, what unhelpful advice? I'm sorry. You know what? I wish I would have known more. I would have got you gifts or whatever. I just didn't know much.
It's totally okay.
I thought it was a car accident. But go ahead.
Unhelpful advice with Tom Segura.
Oh, so embarrassing. Hello. This week's unhelpful advice is brought to you by the Big Papayas over at Patreon. Ready?
Yeah.
We've got Kyle Snuffer,
Oh,
Bon Johnson,
exquisite.
Melvin Flores, Rachel Wilkins, Rebecca Torres, Hafiz from Singapore,
Oh,
Aaron Wasserstrom, Judy Tan, Niall Red,
yeah.
Rico Salavadavada.
Saldivar.
That's what I said. Rico Salavadavada.
Judy Tan is new.
She is new. Thank
And
you, Judy.
Rico.
Rico's
Saldivar.
new. Saldivar is new.
We know Hafiz. We know Aaron, Rebecca, Rachel,
We know all of
Melvin,
them.
Bond, Kyle.
We love them.
We love you.
Okay?
Shout out to our big papayas. Thank you for your love and
Thank you.
support.
Back to the show.
Hi, Tigerbelly. I'm 28 years old and living in Vancouver, BC. I've been trying to live and work in the U.S. for almost 10 years and still have not found a way to make it happen.
Damn.
I work in the film industry in Vancouver, and I've been working very hard to try and open a door to the U.S. through my work. I feel that in order for me to make it to where I want to in the film industry, major studio management, living and working in Los Angeles is a necessity. Since after all this time, that still doesn't seem to be an option for me, I fear I will never move forward to where I want to be in my career. This has made me wonder, with the immigration laws, how difficult the government makes it these days to live and work in the U.S. It begs the question, does the American dream still exist?
Wow, that's a loaded. Jesus, you guys always have thoughtful emails like this?
That is way beyond, like, I can't answer that.
can't
That guy's
answer
way
that
smarter than all of us.
Does it still exist? Could you guys do what you're doing now in Yugoslavia?
No. But you can do it in more places.
I would have been murdered in the Philippines if I had this podcast or did this at all over there.
I think
For
they
as much
did-
shit as I talk about, like, the Catholic Church and the government, oh yeah, I would have been out. I would have been dead.
But in the day and age of the internet, though, I think you can do different things in different countries that you weren't able to do before. You know, I think that in terms of like, if I grew up in Korea, you know, they don't really have stand-up comedy. My friend Dan, what's his name? Fuck. Yeah, Dan Cho is in Korea trying to start a stand-up movement, right? So he's an American. He's there,
Yeah.
setting up mics, and people are now doing it, but it's so new there, and obviously you can't make a living, obviously. So it's like there's still advantages of living in America, I think.
There's definite huge
huge
advantages of living in.
advantages.
But I do think it's kind of interesting. The funny thing about Vancouver is, like, you know, when you move to LA, like when we moved here, you know, you're like, this is the home of entertainment and especially productions. And then like we just outsource all our productions.
To
Like if
Vancouver,
you go to Vancouver, Toronto, Albuquerque, Atlanta, like
Georgia,
Hawaii
yeah.
now, Hawaii a lot.
Hawaii,
now.
yeah, it's like LA is not the spot any. I mean, it's like the heartbeat, it's like the center of the stuff, but then it all goes out. Like we send all the work elsewhere.
Also, when they're doing a show like in Atlanta, right, they have to hire a certain amount of people, right? They like the smaller parts to locals.
You have to, yeah.
They have to do it, right? So the first 3 leads or whatever, 4 leads, but then they start hiring locals. So if you're an up and coming actor, right, you would want to be in those markets, right? Because you can get amass a reel, right, of real parts. And then you come to LA and go, this is what I've done, right? So I think it's, you don't really have. What does he want to be again?
Well, so like a studio management, but I feel like everything's online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer
Give me a
that.
darker
Yeah,
one.
Give me a
You have a
dark.
darker one?
A dark
Like I'm
one.
dying or something? I don't know.
I don't have that, but I do have a girl. I'll just get to her. Her question is he just moved here to the States, having a hard time finding a job from the Philippines. Basically wants any advice for someone new to this country. Basically,
Well, that's so little. Like, what's her skill set?
working right now as a barista at a mom and pop shop, but was an engineer back.
How old is he?
Okay, is an engineer back home?
Back home.
You could just take the equivalent of the engineering exam or whatever it is. Maybe it might require a couple more classes or do like a refresher course. And if that's what you want to do, then do that.
How old is he?
26.
It's intimidating though.
Immigrant
I think,
first
you know?
time.
Very
Yeah.
And she goes, no. And then I just go, all right. And I just hung up. I was like, all right, later. Like I didn't have
You
a
had no-
follow-up thing.
You didn't have a follow-up?
No recourse.
You
I was like, you don't want to go on a hike?
Dinner didn't like come to mind?
No, I'm kind of slow. So
Wow.
I was like,
You were
bye.
shocked. Were you embarrassed because
Yeah, I was
she saw you
embarrassed.
through your hike shit?
Well, I didn't even realize she saw through my hike shit. I just was like, she doesn't want to do something.
Oh.
You know? So
Yeah.
then when I called her the next time to go out,
I love that you called her.
Yeah,
That's
I called.
really sweet.
Sweet.
And this is like, I called her the next time, and I'm like, all right, my hike thing, like, failed. And she's like, hey, I know this bar you can still smoke at. Do you want to go there? And I was like, okay. This is why she doesn't want to go on a hike.
Yeah.
So then we just went on, dates, and it just continued.
That's amazing.
But you guys are 4 years.
But
now?
let me, what, can I just say something
Yeah.
about her?
Yeah.
She's strong, dude.
She's
As a
hilarious.
Oh,
I watched
yeah.
her
comic. Oh
special.
my, she's
amazing.
beast.
Yeah, she's great, man.
Yeah, she's great. It's so, you rarely see 2 comics that are super good. I always know a guy that's really good
Yeah.
and his girlfriend, open micer,
Yeah, sure.
right? I never see 2 beasts.
I know.
It's incredible. dude.
Well, the thing I'm so happy about now that her special came out on Netflix and everything.
yeah.
She's selling tickets, so I'm like, go out there and bring me money. So I have like this real pimp kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
It's like, go get paid right fucking now.
Yeah.
And bring me that check.
Is she, so she's going out on the road now?
She has some dates coming up. Yeah.
But what the baby?
Which one?
You have 2, right?
No. We have one at home, and we're pregnant. She's pregnant. With me.
Yeah.
No, so she's only.
Babies.
She's not going to do a lot of dates.
Okay.
But she has a few.
Well, Allie did it.
But Allie's fucking nuts with that.
She's nuts.
Allie's doing it like up until like 7.5 months.
Yeah.
Like, and also like multiple city weekends, and it's
I
like,
think just some people do
Allie can power
pregnancy.
through it.
I imagine that when I get pregnant, I'm going to be in a muumuu for 6 years.
yeah.
I'm not going to change. I'm going to have 3 pairs of underwear. I'm just going to live in a giant muumuu, and I'm not going to move much. I'm going to stay mostly horizontal. And I'm going to hug a
my
tree,
woman,
birth
dude.
it out.
It's your
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah.
But what Allie does is
Yeah.
I can't even fathom doing that without a baby in my belly.
I mean, she does it with like all systems go.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, she powers through it. I don't get it either. I'm not pregnant, and I look at her schedule. I'm like, God damn. You're gonna do that?
I know.
Yeah.
I always keep saying, before, even when I see Allie, I go, are you all right?
She
You doing good?
totally
And
is
she's like, yeah, I'm fine.
fine.
I feel
Yeah.
great. It's like, what the fuck?
That's personality though, because I have like my older sister when she was pregnant. She was pregnant twice, has 2 kids. She was like running. They had to tell her to stop lifting weights. They're
Yeah.
they're like,
Oh,
"You know,
wow.
dial it back a little bit. And she was like, feel great. I
Well,
want to do it.
if you're working out, can the baby's skull get crushed?
No.
Not really.
Come on, be real.
There's certain exercises
Yeah.
that you can continue through.
And if you're like a fitness freak, like my sister is to
Yeah.
begin with, then they just like keep doing what they're doing. You know.
You recently lost a ton of weight, right?
They're like 50 pounds. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know you look so good.
50
Or
pounds.
better.
How'd
Not
you do
good.
it?
Cutting sugar, basically. I did like a
Okay.
keto diet and exercise, but it's basically, I worked out before. It's crazy. People always be like, "Why don't you try working out?" I'm like, "Bitch, I work out. Like, I just eat everything." So
Yeah.
if you do that, I mean, part of it's genetics too. Like there's some people that like eat garbage and stay thin.
Right,
and,
I hate
like,
those people.
They're the worst.
Fuck 'em
but
all.
but like, yeah, I just was like eating like a total fucking asshole all the time. That's the thing is like you can eat like a pig sometimes, but you gotta like space it out. That's
Yeah.
what I've learned basically. Is like I was somebody who like breakfast, lunch, and dinner all the time would just be like, I'll just eat whatever I won't even have any regard for nutritional value,
Yeah.
anything. I'd be like,
Yeah, I go to the donut shop at 2 in the morning. I go, I'm
Well,
getting
tell
donuts.
Tom what happened on your hike when you had a lemon love cake
I had a
as
lemon
your only
loaf cake,
meal.
and I went and I had it. What do you call it?
He became hypoglycemic
I had my
and
picking
sugar crash.
hypoglycemic.
And we had to drive the car
drive
into the
the
hill.
No.
Yeah, to the hike. And I
At
picked him up. I couldn't
nighttime, it was a
move.
night hike,
I couldn't move.
and he was
I was gonna
basically
die.
dead.
This is something that had happened before or no? This is
Never.
the
No,
first time?
I've been hypoglycemic too.
Yeah, he just eats a shit ton of sugar, and then that's all he crashes.
I might die soon.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
No worries. Nothing.
No.
And we've been to the hospital.
Yeah.
They've told me, they take blood out and they analyze the
He's
blood.
borderline diabetic.
I'm borderline
He's
diabetic,
pre-diabetic.
yeah.
Do you do anything to